Hello, this is Bishop Robert Lewis Taylor with Win at Life Online Ministry. Today we have a very special presentation. We're reaching the community in a unique way. And our guest today, you're going to love him. Our guest today is Mr. Stephen Douglas, President of Diversity Inspired Collaboration. He's the CEO as well as the co-founder. Stephen is a certified customer support broker with the Maryland Developmental Disability Administration. Steve, welcome to Win at Life Online Ministry.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be with us. Please, Steve, tell our viewers a little about yourself.
Well, basically, I'm a government contractor.
Okay.
I work with the VA as a government contractor for about 8 to 9 years. I'm also a business owner, as you said, but also more importantly now, I'm more so of an advocate for our special needs community and special needs and disabilities.
Okay, advocate. He's an advocate for special needs in the special needs community. Well, let's get right to something I think you're going to need to know. If you could, since you talk about special needs, could you share with us about your journey with regard to special needs and why you got involved in the self-directed services?
Absolutely. My journey started over 20-some years ago.
Okay.
Because I have a special needs nephew.
Okay.
He just turned 28 on the 2nd of May, but he lived. I helped my mom raise him.
Okay.
During his growing up years, so I've always been a part of his life. But my mom went to be with the Lord in 2018.
Okay.
And I was blessed enough to have Jason, which is my nephew's
Your nephew's name is Jason. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's an adult now.
He's an adult now.
He continues to live with. Okay.
And him and I live together.
Okay.
And I had an opportunity to, see his everyday living,
Correct.
and plus all the work that my mom has done to get him to adulthood.
Now, what, if you don't mind me asking,
Sure.
what is his developmental disability, if I could ask that question?
Sure,
Right.
yeah. Jason is nonverbal.
Nonverbal. Okay.
Yes, and but outside of that, he's just like everyone else. He knows how to communicate.
Okay.
He has a communication device. He works every day.
Okay.
Matter of fact, he works on what they call an Ability One contract, which is a set aside for the special needs community. So he works on the base of Fort Meade.
Okay, so don't get too ahead of it. You got so much to share.
Sure.
So
sure.
your mom, you told us about your mom passing.
Absolutely.
And as a result of your mother, who was taking care of your nephew Jason,
Yes.
you took over.
Exactly.
You took
Yes.
charge. Okay,
Yes.
good. Okay.
I took over those responsibilities
Right.
to keep his quality of life as it has been living with her, and to increase it.
Okay. Improve it. Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, to
Right.
improve it. So after she passed, I got him in what they call a professional development training program.
Professional development. Okay, training.
To get him employable ready.
Because once your mom passed, he was already an adult. He was out of high school,
was
out,
out of
of all this. Okay,
Yes,
I'm asking the
yes.
right questions. Okay.
So yes, just to elaborate on that a little more, in the special needs community, they are able to stay in high school until they're 21.
Okay.
So when my mom passed, he was 24. He was 24 in 2018. So, or 25. So, so he had to work. We were, at the time we were in what we call traditional services.
Tradition. Okay, so there's
a
two
difference.
types of service. There may be
Yes.
more than two. I'm just
Exactly.
I don't know. Okay, but there are various services available to
the
individuals
yes.
special needs. Okay.
So, so again, I put him. I enrolled him into a what they call a professional development training program.
Okay.
And it was an excellent program for him to get him skills training,
Okay.
resume preparedness,
Okay.
Have everything you need to be able to look for a job and to go interview for a job.
Gotcha. To apply.
And to apply,
right, all that.
absolutely.
Okay. I got you.
So, by him being nonverbal, we have a thumb drive and everything readily available when he goes to interview, to be able to speak on his behalf
Okay.
and to, let the employers know what he's able to do, as well as a portfolio, hard copies of pictures of things that he's done in his training to show his ability to be able to work.
Now, is that what you're describing of going on interviews, going to the training? Is that something that's common in the special needs community, or is that something?
It is. They have job development coaches.
Okay, I didn't know that.
To advocate for them on their behalf, to go to the various businesses and talk with them to see if they are able to get the community employed.
Wow.
And then you have various companies that welcome that chance and opportunity to employ the special needs community into their businesses.
So if you're watching and you may have someone in your family, in your circle, that's a special need individual, or you may know someone, a co-worker, individual that goes to your church, a neighbor. This information is information that Steve Douglas wants shared. We want to share. You will see his name, his number, his contact information, his email will be on the screen, and you will be able to contact him at any time. But this is crucial because we do realize, and you can help me again, Steve, there are a lot of people with special needs that are not like Jason. They ain't going to work.
That's true.
They probably, I don't know how many of them even successfully finished high school. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know about the quality of their life. That
Right.
kind of. Okay.
Right. So, after we went through the professional development training program, we were very excited. He graduated with flying colors. He had some job opportunities available, right afterwards. But things didn't pan out too well.
He couldn't get a job, or what do you mean didn't pan out? What kind
The
of roadblocks?
opportunities that were supposed to be available didn't work out.
Didn't materialize.
It didn't materialize. It didn't work out, and it became very frustrating because, we were really thinking that we were going to be, moving on to the next
He's
step.
jacked up. Yeah,
exactly.
right.
And and for him too, he wanted to work.
He was excited.
He
right.
was very excited about the opportunity as well. So as things went on and progressed, things weren't happening.
Yeah, time went on, but nothing was really progressing. Right. Yeah,
right. So
right.
now, we're, back where we began. Now he's just going to, he going to a facility.
The traditional
facilities,
Okay.
As they say, adult care
Okay.
type of program or type of situation. And that's not what we wanted.
So that wasn't really contributing to his quality of life that he wanted.
Well, not
right.
for him.
Right.
Because for him, he had potential to do other things. Again, I've been around him all his life. I helped raise him, so
Right.
He was very active. He's a cyclist for the Special Olympics.
Oh, wow.
He plays basketball for the Special Olympics. I coach him in those sports and areas. He has an older brother. He has a younger brother. So he's very active. So going to an adult care type of facility just was not conducive to his lifestyle.
Kind of like just going into place, sitting. That wasn't what.
Well, yeah,
right.
I mean they do volunteer type situations. Sometimes you might see them in the malls, walking around,
Right.
with their groups or whatever.
Right.
But
I've seen them.
That's not what we wanted.
And so there's more than that, because some people might be listening right now and thinking, that's
Your only option.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
right. Is there more than? Is there something else? Is there something else available?
Absolutely. So again, like I said, my frustration was very was building because again, when he was living with my mom, that's a whole different situation.
Correct.
She was retired.
Yeah, she was old. She was your mom, so she
was
was older. Right.
Right. But But for my lifestyle and for his lifestyle, it's going to be different.
Correct.
You know,
That makes sense.
I have to go to work. You know, we have things to do. It's a more active environment, a more
Gotcha.
active situation, and for him too. You know, he's more active. You know, he just because he's nonverbal doesn't mean he likes to do all the other things, which he does.
Right. Okay.
So I spoke with our caseworker,
Okay.
and before my mom passed, she had mentioned talking about self-direction.
Self-direction.
Yes, self-direction. Okay. So, and self-direction is basically where you control your own, pretty much your own budget that has been set up, or what they call your personal centered plan of.
So you can take control of the services that are available to you that's guaranteed by the state.
Yes.
You can take control, and you as an individual,
you can manage it.
Me as a Jason could do that.
Yes. That gives the individual their voice.
Okay, it's like like you use the word advocate.
Yes.
You do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Just because he's nonverbal, he has an advocate in me to speak for him, but he can communicate very well what he wants, what he doesn't want, what he likes, what he doesn't like,
what he wants to do with his time.
What he wants to do with his time. Exactly.
Now that sounds kind of challenging to me. You know, I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm not sure how many individuals who have special needs that are watching. Mm-hmm. When you say self-direction, now I'm sure you use this term. Do people find that daunting or kind of reluctant to do it because
it can become a little overwhelming because they look at it as if I have this budget that I have to control and manage, then now I don't have any help from anywhere else as you would in traditional services.
So why is that wrong? Why is that thinking incorrect?
Because you still have help, because that's where customer support brokers come into play.
Okay.
That's where inspired diversity collaboration comes into play.
Okay.
Because it's all about time management and family management.
Time management and family management.
Yes.
Now, if you're watching it, those words mean everything to you. I'm sure time management and family management.
Yes.
If you're an individual with special needs, or if you're a caregiver, someone who loves a person with special needs, I'm sure that's important. You elaborate.
Yeah. So as I got more interested into this and wanted to learn more about it, our caseworker, she sat down and she spoke with me, and she, gave me the information on how this works.
Self-direction
services works.
Okay.
So, of course now, him coming to the adult, care centers and things like that will stop
because that's traditional.
Okay,
that's okay. Now let me ask this: traditional, they do everything for you.
Pretty much, exactly.
Whether you want it done or not, this is what they do.
Or they kind of tell you, well, this is how things go. This is how it go. Yeah. Here come this amount of your funding goes here.
Okay.
This amount of your funding goes there. As far as your skills or training or things of that nature.
So everyone gets the funding, and they could spend the funding or utilize, I don't know if spending is the right word, at a traditional setting, or they could use it for self-directive services.
Yes.
Same funds, same money.
Same
okay,
funding.
That's what I did.
Same funding.
Okay.
So, but what was so attractive to me
to the self-direction.
For self-direction was that you had the flexibility to specifically budget your funding according to your individual's needs.
You could tailor.
You could tailor it, exactly. So you could hire your own staff, which I thought was amazing.
Hire my own staff. For instance, an example.
So
of me
just for their day, according to their needs. So let's say your individual has a job,
Okay.
They're working, and you, meaning myself,
Yes.
I have to go to work.
Right.
So
Okay.
say I have to be to work at 8 o'clock,
And my man don't have to be to work.
and he don't have to be to work till 11.
What
So
happens?
for the first, for those first 4 or 5 hours, I can hire staff to come in, make sure he gets breakfast. Make sure he gets up, shower, shave, everything.
Hygiene stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
hygiene things,
Right.
and and make sure he gets off to work.
Someone does that for you, and they'll do it. How many days a week he works? Whatever it is,
5 days a week,
7 days, whatever he works.
Exactly, and it's paid staff. It's what they call personal support services.
And these are professionals that's doing this, not just.
Or it could be a family member. You could pay a family member to do that.
An advantage of a family member doing it is what's just the key?
Is awesome because first of all, your individual, that's who they know, number one. So they're comfortable with them.
Yeah, no relearning, trying to familiarize, get to know someone.
Exactly.
They already know someone in the family because they've been around family.
Right.
Okay.
And it's great for me because I know who that person is.
Right.
It's not a stranger.
Right,
we didn't
in
have
your
to
home and all that. Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So
Wow.
I was like, this is pretty awesome,
Did you find it hard, or did you find it? I don't know what I'm trying to think of a word that one of the viewers might be using under this.
It could be a little overwhelming when you first get all the information.
Okay.
Because again, you're more so used to staff and everything being in place in these facilities that you go to. So you're not having to interview with anybody to make sure that they are compatible for your for your individual.
But that's what you see is what you get kind of thing. You don't know
pretty
who
much
the person
because now he's in a group or they're in a group of people. Let's say one staff to 5 to 10
Correct.
individuals.
Right.
So so is your individual getting the attention that's needed to give them the skill sets or the things that they need to become employable or to be able to get a job? Where in self-direction, I can hire someone
one-on-one.
Exactly.
It's only concerned. So the person shows up. The person's only concerned about Jason. He doesn't have a room full of individuals.
No.
He's only concerned for the hours that you hire him is for the one person.
It's for him. Exactly.
Wow. So if a person is watching this, they just have to, I don't know what to tell you, viewers, and you have to share this. They just have to get over that initial, I guess, reluctance that sometimes we have with trying something different.
Trying something different, something new. And
right.
And also it gives everybody involved the flexibility. Because just like I was saying earlier, let's get past the week. We don't have to work and everything.
Right.
And then you got the weekend.
Right. I was going to ask you, like on your job, if your job involves travel, what happens?
Right.
If you have to, because you said you're a contractor, so if your job involves travel, then what? Because travel is overnight. You're not home. You're out of town. You're not with Jason.
Exactly.
How does that work?
I hire staff for what they call respite care.
Respite care.
Or respite services.
Respite services.
Yes.
Okay.
And the respite can be done in my home. I can bring, staff could be, they can stay right there where he is, and everything can continue on as normal. So his life is not being interrupted. We're not having to go, he don't have to go stay somewhere else for respite
That's
care.
unusual, strange to him. And
Exactly.
He got to adjust to, and I know sometimes that adjustment is not always easy.
Exactly. It's not because, I'm just speaking for speaking for Jason, but consistency is very important. And it's important. It's important to everybody.
Consistency. Much as people talk like they don't want routine. Routine is great. Routine is great. Right.
Yes.
Right.
So, to be able to have staff to come in and stay, there for the time that I'm away,
stay in your home while you whatever time it is.
Yeah, right. It's amazing, and it's just awesome. It's an awesome program. even on the weekends. I have staff set for him.
Every
Saturdays,
weekend?
Every weekend. Every weekend.
And this comes out of the budget.
It comes out of the-
Let me ask you this: when you start talking about the budget, it never is a point whereas I'm gonna use the word caregiver because I don't know whatever word to use.
Caregiver, yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah,
Word is
that's
okay.
fine.
I mean, I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm concerned about my loved one. I have this budget. Is there a point where it ever costs me that I go over my budget, or there's an expense that I didn't see, or anything like that?
And those are the things that you work out as you're setting up your plan.
Okay.
So, and you may go over the budget, but that's very, very seldom.
Can I shift budget
you can move,
items?
Yeah, you can move things around. You can move line items
around.
around.
I didn't spend that much for
transportation,
right. I
or
was
this
thinking
or
I was
that.
gonna do.
You can move. Yes, you can
I
move that
didn't know
around.
that.
So that's the beauty of it.
That's
that
wonderful.
gives you that flexibility to to be able to use your budget again specifically for the needs of the individual.
Flexibility is key. So, viewers, the reason why Steve is here and he wanted to share this with me so that I could share it with you, because we want to get the word out why this is crucial, because it's obvious it's not being done on a scale that it could. In other words, a lot of people are not taking advantage of it. Mm-hmm. Am I correct?
Yeah. Now, a lot of people are. People that, again, that most people that take advantage of it are individuals that have gotten frustrated with the traditional service platform.
Okay.
So that's when, because, again, it's always been offered.
So this is not new.
It's not new. It's not new.
Okay.
It's just that what you choose to do.
Okay, when you say a lot of people are taking advantage of it, then my question would be, is that also in the black community in the Washington metro area?
I have seen it.
Okay.
Probably not as much as our counterparts.
Okay.
But I have seen, yes, African Americans, taking.
Do you feel as though there's still some untapped people that could use it that are not utilized?
Absolutely. Well, this is when it inspired my company.
Okay,
Diversity Inspired Collaborations. That
thank you.
As I got more involved into this, I said, why isn't this being talked about when they're in school?
When they're in 9th grade, 10th grade?
When they're in high school.
Before they graduate is what you're getting.
Exactly.
Okay, why is that so important, talking about it while they're in school?
Because now you can start, it gives you a better time to prepare. Because when you're in school.
When they're in school.
Right. Minors.
Correct, right.
It's more, you're in a situation of what you're entitled to. As from by the state of things of that nature. But once you get out of high school, now it's what you're eligible for.
Entitled to and eligible for.
And eligibility.
Okay, eligibility,
right.
Better way.
So now you're out of high school, and for the families, when they've been in school,
that's structure.
That's a consistent thing that they're doing every single day.
Right, till they're 20-something years old.
21.
So as a parent, I know that my child is going to go to school from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., whatever day is.
Right.
But once they reach that threshold where they got to get out of school, 20 years, 22 years
21.
old, 21 years old, if I'm not being proactive, then the child has no other recourse but to come home.
Now it's a young adult.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I use a child. You're 100% correct. That's a good point.
Yeah.
He knows what he's talking. You hear me? I'm talking like some people are thinking, and they need to think like he's thinking rather than the way I'm talking. Yeah. Okay. So you have an adult. Right.
You have an adult, and just and I've been to various seminars and things, and they always ask the question. So now, what do you do when the bus stop running? When the bus stop coming, when the bus stop running,
listen.
What are you going to do now?
What are you going to do when the bus stop running?
Because it's no more going to school.
But it's still they
still have a life that they're leaving.
Correct.
You know, that
Right.
they're living, and
Right.
and they're gonna look at you to say, well, what are we doing today?
What's next?
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So why not start preparing for when they graduate high school at 21?
So
Because just like when we get out of high school, you either gonna get a job, or you're gonna go in the military, you're going to college.
Right. You're not coming home to sit home.
Exactly.
So why should there be an expectation for someone with special needs?
Exactly.
Their quality of life shouldn't come to a halt either.
That's right. Things shouldn't stop.
So when you're saying being proactive, should parents start it at a grade or at an age?
I would say start it at an age.
Okay.
Because when they start getting
proactive, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Because when they start getting teenage years,
right.
Just because they have a disability, don't mean everything don't function.
Wow,
everything is functioning.
Because they got a disability, don't mean they're not going to have teenage hormones and teenage fun. They want to
go out. They want to,
right.
So another thing that I did with my nephew is I put him into what they call an adult social club.
Okay,
that was age appropriate for
special
his
needs. There's a social. They have social clubs.
Yeah, through the the Parks and Planning. Parks and Planning.
Okay.
I live in the Prince George's County.
Okay.
Prince George's County, Maryland,
right.
And they have a great park and planning program for the adult social clubs.
Correct.
Adult social needs, and it's an awesome program. I mean, twice a month they meet. And they go on, trips, events, festivals, ball games. They have their own, nightclub. It
sounds well rounded.
It
sounds like you're the kind of person that wants to make sure that the key is the quality of life.
Quality of life is very important, and not just for the special needs community, but for all of us. I mean,
for any person,
even the people that are the caregivers, caretakers, whatever title you want to use, you want to use for them, but they need a quality. You need a quality of life too.
Right.
So why should you? It shouldn't be where it's so cumbersome where anybody is feeling cheated or not getting, the best out of life that they should have.
So in order to. And no one should want their child or loved one to be classified as a burden to them.
No.
Yeah. So when you start talking about being proactive, because it's going to come. The bus is going to stop.
The bus is going to stop. They're going to continue to get older.
They're going to. That's true.
Right, I mean, everything is a progression. So you have to be proactive and progress with that.
So what happens now? A person's watching this and they're excited and they want to talk with you. They see your number, they see your email, they reach out to you. What happens? I mean, how does
So basically what my company and my organization does, I call it filling in the gaps.
Filling in the gap.
Pretty much like as we do, as they say, gap analysis.
Okay, talk to me. Gap analysis.
There are resources that are available. You have to know how to use the resources.
Correct.
Sometimes we get the resource, we use it, but there are little gaps in here that the resource can't help you do.
Okay, and that's where
we step in.
Okay.
So as I say, with family management, time management with your family, these are the things that we talk about.
Correct.
Again, as a support broker, the support broker helps you implement your plan.
So I'm not in it by myself. I'm not just all this is not just thrown on me.
No, it's not like say, here's your budget, good luck. Yeah, we see you later.
Okay.
Y'all have a good life.
So that's the customer support broker helps me.
That's where that comes into play. And
now how do I get a customer support broker? Is that he or she is funds are allocated in my budget to hire one of these?
Absolutely.
Okay, I didn't know.
Absolutely. And there's a list of customer support brokers, all depending on where you live and what region that you're in. Your caseworker she can,
the
give you that,
right.
she'll give you that information. So, once you get all of that in place,
Gotcha.
then that's where diversity. That's where we come in at.
Okay, so and then we're talking primarily right now the state of Maryland.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We want to make that clear. We're talking. We know there are individuals in Maryland, Virginia, and D.C. that know individuals, but the services that Mr. Douglas is talking about, his company offers, will be primarily for Maryland residents.
Absolutely.
Am I saying it right? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, every state pretty much has the self-direction option.
So every state. Okay.
If you in DDA, the Development Disability Administration, that's everywhere.
That's in every state has
Pretty
that
much,
option.
that's everywhere, right?
So if a person is watching it in another state and they are interested in it, they just have to contact the case.
Speak with your caseworker and ask them about self-direction. And I'm quite sure that they have some type of self-direction program in that state.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're in Maryland, who you need to call, no ifs, ands, or buts, is Mr. Douglas. No question, no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yes, and I welcome you because again, it has been such a relief. Okay. I can say for me, because not that I didn't know what to do because I was around my nephew all his life. Correct. I watched what my mom did. But everything changes when it's 100% you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as paperwork and understanding terminology, understanding the resources. So as time went on, I took you got to take a little time to understand it and to get into it. But once you do, it's worth it.
So that's where the caseworker and the customer support broker comes in a lot as far as assisting you as well.
Yeah.
Now, what happens about the individual? Now, Win It Life family wants you to know there are going to be other interviews. We're not going to try to cram it. I know you say, Bishop, don't try to put everything in this one sermon. I'm not going to try to cram Genesis to Revelation in this one message. So I'm not going to, we're not going to do customer support services or the services that he offers in one presentation. So we don't want to get longer. We want you to be excited. I want you to be stirred up that you're going to email Mr. Douglas. You're going to text or call Steve as soon as you can. You're going to talk to family and friends. But there is an aspect I wanted to ask you. Mm-hmm. So many people have been taking care of this individual, all of this individual's life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And for me as a person I don't know if it's giving up the rein or feeling guilty about something. What is that vibe I'm getting right or wrong?
I understand what you're saying.
Right,
and this is why I want to start with talking with the individuals in high school, because most of the time, this individual is with original mom and dad. Okay, and mom and dad are getting up in age.
They're maturing as well.
Yeah, they're maturing. They're getting older, and they want to enjoy their golden years too.
And sometimes they with grandma, like Jason was.
Exactly.
We know that happens a whole bunch.
A lot.
So grandma is even older.
Is even older because that's not her original. That's not her child. That's her grandchild.
Right.
So, you have to, again, that's a part of being prepared, of getting prepared. So, grandma's eventually going to not be here.
That's right. That's right. That's profound. You're not going to always be here. So you need to think about how you're going to prepare this person to live as we would with any adult.
Exactly. Just like I'm not going to be here forever.
Right.
So this is why I want to impress this upon the family is to work together.
Correct. Right.
It doesn't have to be all on one person.
And a lot of times it is right now.
Sure. I mean, let the truth be told.
It is.
Right. I mean, of course everybody, we talk about family and we say we love family. And not to say the family don't love, that person.
Right.
But as far as dealing with the individual on a regular basis,
Correct.
a one-on-one, to
Usually
know
usually there's one person in it.
It's
That
usually
usually
a one-
falls to one person
exactly,
doing that.
exactly.
And that wears that person out. I'm
It,
sure that
it's-
person
it takes a toll on them.
does it.
It takes a toll on them. But their love is so strong, they just keep going.
Correct.
They keep going, and at times you see them neglect themselves. They don't get it. They don't get a chance to to go out and enjoy themselves.
They don't have a
They
night
don't get
out with the girls. They
Night
don't
out with the girls.
Watch
They
a
don't.
ball game with the fellas.
They don't take a vacation for years. It's just, but it doesn't have to be that way.
There's something better.
It's something better. And self-direction is the key. The key. And again, like I said, the resources are there, but it's you having to understand the resources, know how the resources work, know how they operate. And you can't get it all at one time. So that's where I feel, because for me, I was like, who's telling me step by step? Even though you have the customer support broker there, which that's a great tool.
Correct.
It's a great resource. I'm glad to be a customer support broker, but it's the other little things in between.
The gaps you're talking about.
It's those
filling in
gaps,
the right.
of where that family may need to talk, or the family may need to be able to say, hey, I need you to kind of come over and talk to some of my other family members.
Okay.
Because they can't explain it to them.
As well as it can.
Right. And
right.
to let them know that everybody can have an equal share in this. Can be a part of
doesn't
this.
have to be a burden on one individual.
Exactly. And
good God Almighty.
And the thing too is that the individual knows the family. They know you. They'd rather be around you. They'd rather, hey, you take me to go get a haircut. Or you take me to go shopping. That is such a delight for them.
Because it keeps it family.
Exactly. They're connected. Some of them, just like my son, Jason's cousin.
Cousin, right. Be cousin, right.
But my son is younger than Jason.
Okay.
But they grew up together.
Okay.
So when Jason sees him, it's like, oh, man, I'm with my man.
My main man.
I'm with my main man.
Right.
We can hang out all day.
Right.
But the thing about self-direction is that, hey, I know my son, he's busy. He got things that's going on.
Right.
And, hey, you know what? You can get compensated for your time if you want to start doing this on a regular basis.
If you want to kick it with him on the weekends, I'm not making you do it if you want to do it, but you can also be compensated.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
You can become a staff for your cousin. And as time goes on, he's really into it. He said, you know what, Dad, you getting a little, time catching up to you.
Yeah, right.
Right. And I can take care of him.
Got it.
I know how he operates. I know how things work. You done showed me the resources and how to manage them. So we can go to the next phase with this.
Got you.
All right.
All right, Mr. Douglas, Stephen Douglas, we thank you so very much.
Sure.
No question we've gone over. I apologize for that, but this was so meatful. It was so much meat here, so needful. So we will be doing this again. We thank you so much for joining. We want you to like, we want you to subscribe, and we want you to share this video. Thank you, and we'll see you soon next time.
Thank you.